What's happening, people? Back again with another podcast, and right now, like the world is gone to shit. Like, especially in Ireland, where we're in a level 5 lockdown. Like, it's just not. It's very toxic kind of atmosphere, and like what the government are doing is just like a lot of it is just not very, very wrong in my opinion. But I was gotten into writing recently, and I am just going to read just something. It's about 8 pages. It's kind of one of those, what should I say, late night kind of DMCs of myself, should I say. Just one I was kind of deep in thought. But without further ado, or ado, I don't know, was it? Is it a do or a do? I think it's a do. But here is what I wrote when life goes horribly wrong. So I started off with like this year, like 2020 has been quite nothing like we expected it to be. Like nothing we could have, like nothing we could have planned. Like, and I'd be lying if I said like I didn't want to talk about it. Like I've put this off like for God knows how long. But let's rewind to the start of 2020. So January 2020 started off with a bang. Like it started off absolutely great. Like I was surrounded by great people, great friends, great vibes, surrounded like by my best mates. Like went on holiday, came back to Ireland to finish off my masters. Like went to events, like linked up with girls and met new people and met loads of cool people. And it seemed like there was no stopping me. Like 2020 was going to be nuts. It was only like January. Like I was thinking like how much of this year am I going to conquer? Like am I really going to live my life to the fullest? But 2020, it rapidly deteriorated. Like it went downhill very fast. Like things went very, very wrong, very quick. Like plans were ruined, like trips were cancelled, like all these things I love doing and looked forward to like all summer, every year, just gone. Like everything I loved and everything I loved doing was taken away from me. And like I just want to say that like the shit things are gonna happen. Like you are gonna feel sad. Like you are gonna feel demotivated. Like you're gonna slack in certain things. Like the world does not care necessarily if you don't like something. Like bad things are gonna happen to you. Like you're gonna be met with hardship. Like that is out of your control, like completely. So rather than worrying about like when there's nothing you can do about it, like maybe you should focus on the things like you can't control and the things you can do about it. But having said that, regardless of everything that was happening in the world, like I still achieved some pretty cool stuff, and like it's not like a dick measuring contest by any means or anything like that. But it's about reflecting the things that you did do, like no matter how big or how small. And maybe if you did do anything, or if you didn't do anything, like now is the time to change and actually use this time to your advantage and look at all the things that you can do and make something for yourself or improve or grow or aim towards something or anything at all. But yeah, regardless of everything, like I still managed to do some pretty cool stuff. And best of all, despite the circumstances, like, we all managed to have hope and we came out this over the other side. But what have I learned over this time, like the last year? Like I learned that like when you have something taken away from you, like that's the only time you really begin to appreciate it. Whether it's like your health, a loved one, your normal daily routine, going to the gym, driving the car, or whatever it is, like one day, like all these things are going to be taken for granted, or these things that you do take for granted, like they're all going to end. Like we're going to be stripped away these things, and like no matter whether you like it or not, like so rather than worrying about it, like when that day will come, like or worrying about living in a state of denial or taking everything for granted, like maybe it's worth being grateful for everything or the things that you do have, because you're not always going to have them. Like, and I also learned that this year's been a reminder to me to make the most out of life, because, well, 2020 to be more specific, but because you never know, like, when it's going to be taken away from you. Like, you never know when it's going to change. Like, you never know when these things are going to, like, be stripped away from you. And I've also learned that, like you'll never escape from suffering or hardship. Like, there'll always be some level of suffering. Like, there'll be always some level of hardship in your life. But in order to have a good time or, like, live in an abundant, fulfilling life, like, it's all about making the most out of the time you have, regardless of the circumstances. And like the whole cup half full, half empty analogy, like are you gonna look at things you can't do and be sad, or because you can do these things, or are you gonna like look at things you can do and do things that make your circumstances better, like because there's so much you can still do. And finally, like I'd say enjoy the good times like while you have them, because you never know when they're going to be taken away. But yeah, it's funny, certain uncertain times ahead, but that is the nature of the world. And just remember that like there's so much you can do. Like there's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. Like if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling miserable, if you're unhappy, it's not about pretending everything is okay, but there are going to be things that happen that you're not going to like. And if you don't have to pretend that it's great, but maybe look for a workaround, like improve your situation, like look at what you can do, look at what you do have. Like you have all this time to improve yourself, like, and work towards goals. Like if you're feeling lost, like work towards something and write it down. Do these little things, like even something as simple as making your bed, let's say in the morning, is a win. Like you're moving forwards and like you are progressing. And yeah, most of all, like don't be so hard on yourself. Like it really doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what month we're in. It's like never too late to set goals, and it's never too late to work towards something. But yeah, I'll call it there on that note. I'll that's just something small I wrote anyway, just about just kind of the current situation, right? Because I know it's all shit times for everybody. But yeah, thanks for listening and peace out.